Friends, students, welcome back to the one more problem on the septic tank. So this is one of the different type of septic tanks where you can see here septic tank along with the soak pit is there, right? You can see this diagram. This is one of the different type of septic tank. So where the septic tank is connected to the soaking pit, soak pit. So we call this as a soak pit. So this is a plan of the septic tank along with the soak pit, and this is a section elevation. See here where we cutted this, the section is cutted from here, from where we marked the here, from this line up to here. This is here where the section is cutted, and the section cutted, section AB, is shown in this diagram. This is where how your septic tanks look like, and this is your soaking pit which is connected through this pipe. Okay, now this is how your entire septic tank along with the soaking pit problem and the diagram looks like. Okay, here also what is asked, he asked to find out the same thing whatever you are finding out in the previous problems, the same thing you need to find. So what are those we need to find? What are those we need to find is, first we'll see the question, what are those we need to find. So you can see in the question, right? So that is first one, he asked about to find out the earthwork excavation in the art soil, then the foundation and the base with CC 1 is to 3 is to 6, and the first class brick masonry in cement mortar 1 is to 4. Then RCC 1 is to 2 is to 4 roof slab cover. He's talked about the roof slab cover, and the brick work for buffalo wall in septic tank and soak pit or to be finished with the open joints. So that is septic tank is on the open joint, so we need to go for finding out that brick work. Then we need to find out the plastering with the cement mortar 1 is to 4 with a waterproof compound. Okay, this is what asked in the question. So now we'll go on detailing, explaining one by one. So one by one we'll start solving this problem. Okay, then by seeing the diagram, then we move on to the part of the solution. Okay, so first asked about to find out is the earthwork excavation. So that is part we will write here. What is asked is earthwork excavation. So earthwork excavation, again if you see in the diagram or if you see in the sectional diagram, so here we have septic tank, here we have a soaking pit. So we need to go on finding separately for septic tank, the earthwork excavation for septic tank, and also earthwork excavation for the soaking pit. Your soak pit is look like in a circular direction or a circular shape. So again we need to find this also, and we need to find this also. So for that part I am writing here separately. So I am making it separate section, so that first we will find out septic tank. First we will find out the septic tank earthwork. Okay, so now number of septic tank is 1. Now we need to find out the length is equal to what? You can see in the diagram it directly mentioned its length, that is 8.4. You can see the diagram. Okay, if it is not given, then you need to go on calculating this distance and total this distance based on the length, and this is the breadth. Okay, based on this length, and this will be the breadth. So whatever they did in the previous problem, the same thing you need to follow. So but in the meanwhile here everything is given, in the directly question, so we will take out those values and we will solve that problem. Okay, what is the length given? So your length given is 8.4, we will take out directly. Then what is the breadth? Breadth is also given. Is it a given or not? Okay, it is not given, so now we need to find out the breadth. So I will take out the breadth. The breadth is equal to what? So this distance has is mentioned anywhere in the part of that part. So this so this distance here, this distance is not given. So what we'll do, we will find out this distance from here to here, and we will subtract that value from 8.4. So you will get 0.2. So 0.2 plus what is this distance? Wall width of this is 0.5. I will add the 0.5 plus what is the what is the breadth? Breadth is this one. There are 2 meter is your breadth. So you see that breadth. Yes, there, which one is the breadth? Now which one is the breadth? So breadth is this one. 2 meter is your breadth. Now I will put here 2 meter. So plus again 0.5. So I will mention here 0.5, then plus 0.2, this distance, right? If I substitute that in a calculator, you will get 3.4 meter. This is your breadth. Okay, then we need to find out what is the depth. So depth is nothing but what? From the ground level up to the bottom of the concrete bed, right? This distance we call it as a depth. So whatever the distance we mentioned, we'll just add on that 1.08. This distance from here to here, from 0.5, then 0.4 plus 0.4. So how much you are getting? It is just substitute those values in the calculator. So now what is that value? 1.08 plus 0.5 plus 0.4, 0.4 plus 0.4. What is the value getting? It is 2.38 meter. Yes, just once again you just cross check it whether it is value is correct or not. Yes, it is 0.05. Sorry, some mistake has happened. This is 0.5. Okay, now your value is become 0.5. This is also 0.5, so this will become 4.2.48. so I'll again do once again. So 1.08, 0.5, 0.5 plus 0.5, 0.4, so you'll get 1.2.48. so this is your depth. Now I'll substitute all the values in the table. So what is the length you got? It is 8.4. So what is the breadth you got? It is 3.4. Now what is the depth you got? It is 4.2.48 meter. So if I multiply all this, the total quantity will be 70.82 meter cube or cubic meter. Okay, so your septic tank is completed. This septic tank part is completed. Now we need to go finding out the what is this soak pit. So soak pit, I'll take out the soak pit here. So soak pit is equal to, so soak pit is in the circular shape, so I need to find out the entire volume of this part, right? So that the entire volume should be inserted. What happens here? Soak pit is number 1. So in order to find out the volume, what is the formula for that? Is a pi d square by 4 into h. So I will write here pi d square by 4, whatever the height or h here, we will take it and we'll get the total quantity. So multiplied, so pi by 4. What is the dia? So now what is the dia? See here, this is what the exact dia of the choking pit. So 3.6, it is directly given, 3.6 square into what is its height. See what is the height you need to take. See here, from here to here it is 4. From here to here it is 4. It is for up to here, up to ground surface or ground level, it is 4. So from bottom to the top it is 4 meter. So I will take out directly the 4 meter. Now if I multiply all these values, what is the value I'm going to get? It is 40.72 meter cube. This is your total quantity of soaking pit. Now I will take out the total values. Total is equal to how much if I add these two values. If I add these two values, what is the value you're going to get? Substitute in the calculator, you get with 111.54 meter cube. So this is your earthwork excavation quantity which is required for this particular plan, particular soaking pit and septic tank. Okay, now move on to the second question. What is asked? The second question is to find out the foundation base, right? So I will write here second one, that is foundation. Okay, foundation and a base with cc 1:3:6, right? So again we need to go for the separately. See here, foundation is only done for the septic tank. Here there is no foundation for the soaking pit, so we are going to find out only for the septic tank. So what is the foundation for the septic tank? So septic tank is equal to, so what is how to find out? So it will be number 1. So only one number is only 1. So you can see it in the foundation base, that is a cc bed. So if bed length is directly given, it is 8.4. now what is the breadth? So breadth we already find out in the earthwork excavation. Whatever the breadth you got, no, here the same 3.4, that value we are substituting here, 3.4. So now what is the depth? So your depth will be this distance, this is your depth. So what is given? It is 0.4. so directly substitute that 0.4 and multiply 8.4, 3.4 and 0.4, you will get 11.42 meter cube. So this is your foundation and base with cc 1:3:6. Okay, what is the next asked? The next question asked is first class brickwork. So third question, which one is asked? It is first class brick masonry. We need to find out the brick masonry. Okay, so in cm everything which is given specified is the question. Okay, now what are the steps here? So usually step 1 will be there. See what, how many steps are there in this? So here 1 step, 2 step and 3 steps are there. So we will go on finding out these steps. Okay, Now what is the step 1? So step 1, in that we will go for the long wall. So all the things we did in the last problem, so last the same method we find out the we are going to use it and find out the length of this long wall. Okay, number of walls will be how much? It is 2, right? So now we need to find out the length. So how will you find out the length? The length is equal to how much? The inner distance is 7, then 0.5. I'm going to add this. Okay, this 0.5 plus 7 plus 0.5, you will get how much? It is 8 meter. So your length will become 8 meter. Now what is your breadth? So breadth will be zero point 0.5. Then what is your depth? So depth, which is given directly in the question, yes, you can see directly given in the question, it is zero point 0.5 meter. So your depth will be 0 0.5 meter. Now substitute, it is 0.5 into 0.5. Substitute all this in a calculator, multiply this 4, you will get 4 meter cube, right, for the long wall. So similarly for the short wall you need to find. This is already clearly specified in the last 3 problems and last 3 videos, so that you can do it directly, right? So here what is your breadth? I am directly taking your breadth as 2 meter. This is also clearly told in the last. If you are not understood, go back to a previous problem, you will see that. Watch those videos, you'll get that how, why and how we are taking this 2 meter as a length for the short wall. Now it is a short wall length is 2 meter. Again its breadth is 0.5. Now what is its depth? So what is its depth we need to take? Okay, so now our depth will be 0.5. If I multiply all these 4, you will get 1 meter cube. Substitute this in a calculator, 2 into 2 into 0.5 into 0.5, you will get 1 meter cube. Okay, so this completes your step number 1. This is step number 1. Now we'll move to the step number 2. So step number 2. Now step number 2. Now again we will find out the long wall. So how many long walls are there? Here only 2. The similarly we need to find out yes, we need to find out its length. Okay, wait, okay, oh this is complete. So now we need to find out the length. How will you find out the length? So this distance plus this distance plus this distance, right? That is 0.4 plus 7 meter, sorry, 7 meter plus 0.4, you will get it is 7.8 meter. So this is your length, 7.8 meter. So now what is the breadth? The breadth is 0.4, which is directly given in the question. Now what is its depth from here to here? That is clearly given in the question, that is 0.5. Now multiply all these 4, you will get around 3.12 meter cube. Similarly go for the short wall. Number of short wall is 2. Now what is the length? So length will be 2 meter. This is also clearly said in the previous videos. If you have any doubt, go and watch those videos, you will clearly understood why we are taking this value. Okay, now multiply all these 4.8 meter cube, right? Similarly go for the step 3. So again we are considering long wall. So many long walls are there? 2. See here, this distance is called as a step 3, right? Now we need to take out the step 3 values and we should move on calculating that part. So again here we will find out the length. So this distance is how much? 0.3 plus 7 plus 0.3. Now how much you get? It is 7.6 meter. 7.6 meter you get that. Substitute here 7.6 meter. What is its breadth? Breadth is 0.3 meter. What is its depth? Depth is 1.08. Now multiply all these values. How much we are going to get? It is 2 into 7.6 into zero point 0.3 into 1.08. How much we are getting? It is 4.9. It is 4.92 meter, right? 0.3 into 1.08 and 2, that is how much you are going to get. It is 4.92 meter cube, right? So similarly find out for the short wall. Short wall is equal to, number of short wall is equal to 2. So now what is breadth? Length of the short wall is 2 meter. Its depth is 0.3, breadth is 0.3 and depth is 0.08 meter. Now multiply all this, that is 2 into 2 into 2 into zero point 0.3 into 1.08. How much you are getting? It is 1.29 meter cube. Similarly, if I do again for the short wall, 2 into 7.6 into zero point 0.3 into 1.08, how much you're getting, it is 4.93 meter cube. Okay, now you got all the total quantities of the brick. Yes, now you got all the total quantity of the brick. Now I'm going to add all this. So what will be the total? Just add it in the as fast as possible. That is 4 plus 1 plus 3.12 plus 0.8 plus 4.92 plus 1.29. Now how much we're getting, it is 15.13 meter cube. This is your total quantity of the brick. So 15.13 meter cube you got. Now what is the next step you need to find out is the brickwork of the buffet wall. So here we need to find out the brickwork. Okay, I will write here clearly what is the next step. It is brickwork. So brickwork with open joints. Okay, with open joints. So first what is asked? He has clearly asked to find out one for the buffet wall of a septic tank and for the soaking pit. Okay, there is a brickwork for these two different. First class brickwork is different and this part is different. Now here this is your buffet wall, as we saw in the last videos also. This is your buffet wall, this is your soaking pit wall. Okay, here there will be a open joints for both buffet wall and also for this point. You can see here 0.3 meter wall with open joints. So this will be also an buffet wall. So here also buffet wall with the open joints. So we will calculate these two walls separately. Okay, first I will take out, so that first I will find out this buffet wall, then we will find out for the septic tank. Okay, so first we will take out for the buffet wall. So buffet wall of septic tank, buffet wall of septic tank. So this, where is your buffet wall? This is your buffet wall, which is looks like in the section cutted part. This is how it looks like. Now I will start the finding out the buffet wall. Number of buffet wall is only one. Now what is its length? So what is its length? How will you find out its length? See, this is your length of the buffet wall. So how much it is? 2 meters. So I'm taking it directly 2 meter. Now what is breadth? So this distance is your breadth. It is directly given in the question, 0.2. Now what is we required? We require depth of the buffet wall. Now see the section. This is your depth of the buffet wall, 1.5 meter. So 1.5 meter. If I multiply all these four, you will get 0.62 meter cube, right? So next part, so what we got the buffet wall. This is buffet wall quantities. Now we need to go on finding out the soaking pit quantities, right? Soaking pit quantities we need to, that is soaking pit brickwork, we need to find out. So again I am writing here for the soak pit separately. So what happens here is we need to find out the first number of is 1. Now we need to find out its length. So what happens, soaking pit, it will be in a circular shape. So now I need to find out what is its circumference of the circle. So that I will write L is equal to pi into d. How much pi? Pi is equal to, we need to find out the d. So now how will you find out the d? D is equal to yes, so how will you find out the d? So what we required is d, finding out is we need to find out the inner to inner distance from here to here, whatever the distance you are getting now, that we call it as a d. That is circumferences dimensions or the dia of the circle. So that value we need to take, we not go for the 3.6. okay, whenever we are finding out the this d, that's the we are finding out the circumference of the circle, we need to go for the inner to inner. So I will find out this, just why I will make it as a dm. So dm is equal to what? So that is 0.3. This is wall thickness divided by 2, then inner to inner distance, it is given in the question, that is 3 plus 0.3 divided by 2. Now what is the value you are going to get? It is 3.3 meter. Now substitute this pi into 3.3, you will get around, it is 10.36 meter. Okay, this is how we need to find out the dm. Now substitute back to that, how much you are going to get? It is 10.36 meter. Now what is the breadth? What is the breadth of that part? So breadth of the wall is 0.3. Then we need to find out what is its depth. So here, if you can see here, from the edge of this part to the ground level, we have 4 meters. So here there is a 0.08 meter thickness of the RCC slab is given. Now what we need to do, we subtract that 4 minus 0.08, you will get around that is depth. Capital D is equal to what? 4 minus 0.08. How much you are going to get? It is 3.92 meter. Now substitute that 3.92 meter, 3.92 92 meter. Calculate all these values, you're going to get 12.18 meter cube. Now what is the total quantity you're getting? So total quantity is equal to 12.78 meter cube, right? So this is how we need to find out. Yes, so next step is to find out the RCC 1:2:4 roof slab. So wherever the roof slabs are there, first we will see the roof slabs. So one is the roof slabs at the septic tank, you can see in the diagram. So where is the roof slab? So here is a roof slab. So in the roof slab we have one manhole cover is also there for the septic tank. This is the roof slab and its thickness is 0.08 meter, right? 0.08 meter. So similarly, if I go to the soaking pit also we have one more RCC slab that we call it as the RCC slab here, and its thickness is 0.08 meter meter thickness of the RCC slab. Okay, now we need to find out what is the exact quantities. By at the last we will direct this manhole from the septic tank. So whatever the things we will find out what is the quantity. So fifth step is to find out the RCC. That is what I have written, RCC 1:2:4 roof slab cover. So in that, see, you already noticed that there is a two different covers. One is for the septic tank we have one cover, and for soaking pit we have only one more cover. So that for that purpose I am taking it here clearly and specifying. First we will find out for the septic tank cover. We will find out for septic tank cover, then we move on to the finding out the other part. Okay, so number of septic tank cover is only one. Now we need to find out its length. So length will be okay, we'll find out that length. So length is equal to how much? You can see in the diagram. So from here to here length is 7 meters, so we'll consider this is length, and this is breadth 2 meters. So from here to here we need to find out its length. So what is this wall thickness, wall breadth? It is 0.3, that is 0.3 plus 7 plus 0.3, you will get 7.6 meters. So this is the length of the septic tank cover, so 7.6 meters. Similarly, point out for the breadth. So 0.3 plus 2 is your breadth. You can see here in the diagram it is 2 meter. Your breadth is 2 meter. So 2 meter breadth is there, so that's why we are taking here 2, that is 0.3 plus 0.3, 0.2, sorry, 0.3 plus 2 plus 0.3, you will get 2.6 meter. So I'm right here, the breadth is 2.6 meter. Okay, now we need to find out the depth. How will you find out its depth? Depth is nothing but your thickness. So thickness is given as a 0.08, so that we will take it directly 0.08 meter. So now we'll substitute all these values, multiply all these values multiply all these values by substituting it in the calculator. So we'll get 1.58 meter cube. This is the total quantity of the septic tank. Again we will find out for the soaking pit. As I shown in the figure, there will be separate cover for the soaking pit and also for the septic tank. So number of cover is only one. So here it is in the circular shape. What we required its entire entire area. So what we'll do, we'll directly substitute pi by 4 into what is its diameter. Diameter is nothing but 3.6 here from this edge to this edge, so we are taking it as a 3.6. so it is 3.6 square into what is its height. What is height is given, it is a height or depth is nothing but 0.08. We'll directly substitute all these values and you'll get the total quantity as 0.81 meter cube. Now what is the total quantities you got? The total quantities by adding all these values you get 2.39 meter cube. By substitute easily in the calculator you got these values, right? So now what is I told you see in the figure, that is in the plan. You can see in the plan where is a manhole size is given, it is 0.6 meter into 0.5 meter. 0.6 meter into 0.5 meter is directly given. Now we need to find out those values, quantities. Okay, this is what exactly clearly mentioned, right? So this is what extra thing is there from entire cover. Here is some manual extra cover is there, so we need to reduce this value so that we can get directly what is total quantity of the RCC or a roof slab cover, right? So for that what I'm writing here deduction part. So what I'm to do is deduct what to deduct, that is manhole cover is given, so we'll take it, and its dimension is given, that is 0.5 into 0.6 easily given in the question, and its thickness, the thickness is same as the roof slab, that is 0.08. now multiply all these values, you're going to get I'm just multiply and simplifying it is minus, we need to reduce that value, so 0.024 meter cube we're going to get. You subtract this from 2.39, so the total quantity, whatever the total value, we're going to get quantity is 2.37 meter cube. So this is your total quantity for the roof slab cover. Okay, so next, what is the next step asked in the question? So next step asked in the question is, that is step number 6. So that is plastering. So he has to find out the plastering with cement mortar 1:4. Now see that part. So wherever you need to go for plastering, so plastering is only done for this wall and this wall. So here it is not going to be done in plastering because the wall with the open joints are there. So here we won't go for the plastering. So only we'll find out the plastering for this septic tank. So that is why we are going to find out that one particular wall. So here how many these are the plastering only for the one part. So here you need to find out the length. So length is equal to what? Total dimensions of the walls. You have 7-meter wall and 2 meter. See here we have 7-meter wall and 2-meter walls. So 2 into 7 plus 2, so you will get around 18 meters. So this is your length. So 18 meter as directly substitute. You can also find out by using short wall and long wall method also. So next, breadth. While going for the plastering, we won't consider its breadth or its breadth. So and we will find out, so it's, we can go for finding out the depth. Here there will be depth availability will be there. So by seeing the diagram, what is its depth, look at the depth. Look at then get what is the depth, exact depth. So for that, what I will write here, 1.08 minus 0.08. I will tell you where we got this part. See here in the sectional elevation. So what is the thickness of the RCC slab cover is 0.08. So this starts from top to top. So in 1.08 I'm subtracting 0.08 this thickness, so that I will get from here to here. Then I'm going to add 0.5, then again 0.5. See here, plus 0.5 plus 0.5. Now what is the value you're going to get? Substitute these values in a calculator, we'll get 2 meter. So this 2 meter I am substituting here, 2 meter. So if I multiply these two, now what is the value you're going to get? You will get 36 to 18 to the 36 meters square. So this is your total quantity of plastering for the inside wall. So here again you can see in the diagram there is a buffel wall is there, right? So you need to go on reducing the buffel wall, sides of the buffel wall. So here is sides of the buffel walls is there, so that reduction is required. So that deduction part, so in that deduction part we are taking the sides of the buffel wall, so that it should not be included in the total quantity. So buffel wall, how many buffel walls are there? Two sides walls are there here, one side and two sides. So that's why I'm taking here two. Now what is its length? So how will you find out its length? Length is, see, as usually you find out it, no, length is nothing but this distance. So length is 2 meter. So I'm taking it directly 2 meter. Now what is its breadth? There will be no breadth. So now we need to find out the depth. You can see here this is a buffel wall depth given 1.5. So I'm directly substituting it 1.5. So if I calculate this in a calculator, 2 into 2 into 1.5, you will get around, and just writing it to understand that you need to subtract this value, 0.6 meter square. Now what is the total you are going to get? Subtract this, so 36 minus 0.6, you will get 35.04 meter square. So this is your total quantity of the plastering. Now you have clearly understood. So what we have find out by seeing this diagram, so we found out one earthwork excavation, one we find out the second part we found out what we found out we found out for the different types. Yes, what are the things we find out? First we find out the earthwork excavation, we find out for separately for the septic tank and for the soaking pit, right? Then we found out the foundation base. So foundation base, so there is only foundation base in the septic tank, that we find out there is no foundation base for the soaking pit, that we didn't find out, right? So then what we find out we found out a first class brick masonry. Here is a first class brick masonry what we have done. So that we found out it. Then we went on finding out what. So then we found out it brickwork with open joints. So these are the open joints for the buffel wall, and then for the soaking pit we find out it. But then we find out the RCC cover, that is a roof slab. What is the roof slab quantity we required, that we find out it, and along with the deduction part of the manhole. Then we find out the plastering for the wall. So these are the quantities required to be found out, and we got these values clearly. So this is how we going to find out, or we are going to estimate the manhole with the we're going to find out the quantity or estimation of the quantities, or estimating the septic tank quantities along with the soaking pit. This is how the diagram looks like, and how we going to find out these quantities. Thank you.